this is the intro call to what will happen over the next 12 months, a series of 15-minute podcast videos, real short, theme-based, that we think the listener, the owner-operator on the road might listen to and follow, and also industry players that are thinking about getting into the industry or currently in the industry that want a little more insight to really what's going on. Because I think between Lewie and I and you, Zach, I think we have a fairly decent, unbiased view of the market from the ground up, top down, bottom up.
Welcome to Stream, a trucktractortrailer.com production. Today's episode, we're doing something a little different, something very special here today. Today's episode is presented by OOIDA, that's OOIDA, the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association. They serve more than 162,000 independent owner-operators. And certainly you could learn more about OOIDA at OOIDA.com. If you're an owner-operator and you're not a member, what the heck are you waiting for? Go to OOIDA.com and join. And of course, presented by trucktractortrailer.com. Honored to be joined today by longtime owner-operator himself, now the executive director of OOIDA and proud Army veteran Lewie Pugh, as well as trucktractortrailer.com CEO John Gillie. John spent most of his career in transportation and, of course, is a proud former Marine. John, Lewie, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. But John, let's talk about this because, you and I, I've been working with trucktractortrailer.com for over a year now. You and I have been talking for well over a year. Yeah. And when you first approached me about trucktractortrailer.com, the first thing you really mentioned was OOIDA and was those owner operators and providing a resource for those OOIDA members, for our our independent drivers out there on the American roads.
Yeah, absolutely. But keep in mind, you and I were introduced about 2/3 into my development of trucktractortrailer.com. So you came in right at the right time when I had my thinking straight, and really after Lewie and I met probably 3 years ago. Spent a lot of time there at the headquarters in Kansas City. In Lewie's office, showing me his 4 or 5 rigs he had on the floor, on the wall, and very proudly telling me that he shopped for every one of those online. So he was an early adopter. I'll never forget that conversation. And but when you came, but I'll be completely transparent here, is that when we first built TTT, it was really, and it is still, a two-sided marketplace of sellers and buyers. But I really didn't have, we had a good product. We have a beautiful platform technology-wise, but we didn't have product market fit. Now, what I've learned, I'm not a lifelong tech entrepreneur. I guess I'm a tech entrepreneur now, but I didn't start doing that until I was 55 years old, right? But what I've learned is that product is nothing. Product market fit is everything. And what I didn't do initially, that I started to do after meeting Lewie, I started really understanding the buyer and the buyer journey. And although Lewie did not give me the idea for TTT, he definitely inspired me to dig down deep and really understand the buyer better. In this case, it's the owner operator and small fleet.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. And then, so I guess, Lewie, from your perspective, what does the owner operator, what does that OOIDA member need that they weren't seeing in the marketplace?
Well, I think the thing I found intriguing, I mean, when John first came, I found his whole idea very interesting and intriguing. And I mean, I think one of the first things I told him was, I said, I really like this idea. I see where it's I see it in the future. I think it's going to take us a little while to get people pushed into it. Yeah. Because truckers are not always good about embracing technology. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I first admit, and he is correct. I use the internet to search a lot of things and find a lot of things and find vehicles and try to find deals, but I don't necessarily buy off of them. Then I go look and put my hands on it. But what I thought was the one thing I thought was very interesting that he brought to the platform was a way to sell your truck, which what that intrigued me was because, I own trucks and I always traded every time over the years until I came here. And I worked here. I kept my truck for about a year and a half after I came here because I wasn't sure I could handle driving a computer and a desk. And I'm still not sure if I can. But with that being said, that was the biggest thing was what do I do? How do I sell my truck without paying for a bunch of expensive advertisement or different things like that? Now, what I finally did was I got with a friend and a trailer dealer back home, and I sold it on consignment. But it still took a long time because it's sitting in one little spot in Ohio on this guy's lot who sells trailers, not trucks, on consignment. And yeah, we finally sold it. Took a little while, but that was the intriguing thing to me. It was a marketplace where an owner operator with one truck, one trailer, whatever, could take a piece of equipment, put it out there and sell it. And it would be out there nationwide. We have Craigslist, we have all these kind of things like this where you can do it, but it's not really nationwide. It's not exposure. That's where, we've all seen the papers in the truck stops with all the little trucks there. Yeah. And I don't want to call anybody out or anything. And the ones that they send, there's some, I still get some in the mail. Right. But again, this is expensive. This is, for a guy with one truck, it's an expensive deal to put your truck in there and all that stuff. This was a simple, affordable way for an owner operator. To me, that was what I was intrigued by at first. But going on with that, buying a truck, being able to shop, it's another form, it's another tool you can use.